Hello and welcome. And I'm going to give you a little update on my long COVID. So, I know in my last video I said, like, oh, I don't think I'm going to do the nicotine patch anymore. It didn't really have an effect, but I changed my mind. Um, I I think when I made that last video, I was feeling really good. And then the next week, I just crashed. And for like an entire week, I was super fatigued, like back in bed. I mean, still going to work, but besides that, like all weekend in bed. And I was like, this is miserable. This is the exact same thing I tell my patients who have chronic illnesses is like, sometimes we don't know like why things get better and worse. And it's always hardest when it's worse after it was good, right? And I, that's definitely what I experienced. So, it's kind of like, okay, I did a lot, like when sort of the crash happened, I was like, I did a lot more physical activity in a week than I've done. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Like, I'm just really tired over the weekend. But then into the next week, I was still really struggling. And I was like, you know what? Let me just do the nicotine patch again. Like it helps, right? And so kind of what I think for me is if I do the patch for a week, I feel good for a month and then it kind of wears off. And I know a lot of you have commented that like you just wear a patch daily. So this time, what I have learned from my own experiments, right? This is all kind of experimental, is this time I started with a quarter patch for 2 days and then a half a patch for 2 days. And I'm actually still just at half a patch. And I kind of want to see like if that's enough. But what I learned is the like nausea and headaches is a reaction to the nicotine. Like it's too much for people who, are nicotine naive, I guess what they say, like who don't, use nicotine. And I definitely had no symptoms when I did it like that. I did a quarter patch just during the day, the first 2 days, a half a patch just during the day for 2 days, and then a half a patch for 24 hours. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm going to see like if maybe I do it for 2 weeks, if that will last 2 months. So I guess, hindsight's 2020. I did feel better after the second round of the nicotine patch. It just wasn't as significant as the first one. Um, so yeah, I think it's all an experiment. I thought about like I saw my doctor for just an annual checkup and she's like, we can try some of the medications if you want. And I thought about it, but then I'm like, you know what? That's also an experiment and then I gotta pay for it, right? Nothing's free in American healthcare. And I'm like, I have these leftover nicotine patches, so I'm like, let me just use them and see if that will help me. I'm glad to know my doctor is somewhat like educated on long COVID and willing to try some of the medications. I don't know if you've tried like naltrexone or rapamycin or any of the medications. I would love to hear in the comments if it helped. I kind of hear mixed things from like people I know, which is only a few people that I really know in real life that have chronic fatigue syndrome. And actually, the two people that I can think of, neither of theirs were from long COVID. So, you know, who knows? But anyway, that's where I'm at. So I didn't lie, but I just changed my mind when I was like, oh, I think I'm done with the nicotine patch. Over time, I realized like it does help, and maybe it's something you have to do every day. But I'm gonna keep experimenting with myself and see like, so my goal this time is half a patch for 2 weeks. And maybe we'll see. So now I kind of see why a lot of the websites say like 14 to 30 days, like 7 days gave me a month of feeling good. So this time I'm going to try 14 days. Then I might try 30 days. We'll see. Hopefully kick this thing. It's so annoying. But yeah, that's where I am. So I think this is like 4 or 5 days that I'm back on the nicotine patch since like I started it again. And definitely feel better. Like, actually, like the first day that I started it, I felt better and then still kind of fatigued, but, like I can can do more. I was like feeling pretty low when I was like, oh, I feel terrible again. I'm like in bed again. So it's helping. And yeah, let me know what's working for you if you're doing the nicotine patch daily, how long you've done it, or if you've tried any other medications.